What is going on, guys? Welcome back, Commentary Free. If you think all I do is make negative content, I want you to watch this whole video and then take the images from it, go make a positive video, or write down in the description what I could do to be more positive. I need that feedback from you. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Madden Ultimate Team gamer and you're watching this, I know the community's separated right now, but I have two things to say to you. Number one, if I was an Ultimate Team gamer and I watched this video, I'd be terrified. I would be absolutely terrified. I would be going to EA and saying, hey, I don't play this franchise mode, but I just saw a video where this guy showed like 90% of the game is gone. And I don't want you to do that to my mode, so I need to make sure you understand that it's not okay to treat gamers like this. That would be the first thing. And number two, I want you to understand, no matter how negative you think my content is, no matter how negative your favorite commentator says I am, you have a personal promise and commitment from me. If next year EA were to, for whatever reason, strip away 90% of what you like about the game, I'll be here to talk about it. And I have a feeling that if I do that, you won't come to me and tell me that I'm being negative. But I want you to look at something. I want you to understand something. We got to get some common ground here. This is a Madden 05 Prima guide. I'm going to give you two names you may be familiar with, Gibbs and Farrells. They used to work hand in hand with Prima. Their names are actually in the guides if you go back and look a couple years ago. And these would work kind of in tandem with the game to show you what EA was putting in and explain how the features were going to work and really kind of help sell the game to you. These are new features and expanded features. EA can't do this anymore. You know how we know EA can't do this anymore? Because they literally just sold us the game with a bold new cover. Something that has to change. The number has to change at minimum. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This guy got in a little spat with me on Twitter, but I want you to look at his face. This is a pinned tweet. He's a Twitch streamer. Look at his face. I want you to look at how happy he is as this card gets pulled. Now, I want you to ask yourself, don't all Madden gamers have the right to be this happy? Look at how happy he is. Am I being negative? Or am I frustrated that I can't have this same experience with the game? I can't be this happy in an off season. I can't be this happy playing franchise, and we get lied to about it. Mike Young made a recommitment to franchise mode in 2019, and nothing has happened. I want you to look at all these things, and I want you to ask yourself, if they're in Madden right now, restricted free agents, allow your young guys to test restricted free agency. Preseason position battles. Let two players who are similar in talent battle it out for a starting job. Player personalities. This is kind of there. Players react to everything. You don't throw a receiver a ball, you hear about it, and franchise tags. They're kind of there too. They don't work right, but they're there. Realistic off-season free agency. This is one EA really got lost with. No longer care only about money. They look at your team roster, prestige, and a variety of other factors. Weekly game plan. We don't even have coordinators in the game, guys. NFL icons. This used to be one of my favorite parts. If you went and got a defensive star, Ray Lewis, Jason Taylor, they would bring other players onto your team because they wanted to play with great players. Practice and franchise. Improved team management. It's one thing I talked about the other day. And this is one thing you guys have to understand. If you're looking at a guide from 2005 that tells you teams are managed more intelligently, and you know that they just sold that to us in Madden 21, don't you ask yourself, when this gets hammered out, when the AI just is perfect, when it works right, how many years can they actually build more intelligence into these things and they still don't function right? Name team captains, rivalries, huge one. Ravens, Eagles, Cowboys, Steelers, those games played different. Team prestige, in-season player progression, these things mattered. Now, they didn't just improve franchise mode. Guess what? They improved the whole game. Defensive hot routes. What some of you don't understand, because by admission you've only played the game 3 or 4 years, is a lot of the things that they look to bring back are things that were in the game before. They're just selling us things that used to be there, and they're packaging them as new. And I want to give you a perfect scenario here. Football 101. After you ran a play in this mode, Madden would critique your effort and then give you a chance to run again, basically teaching you football. Now, I can't give you a better example of why this can't be in the game now as the Madden champion that just put in a punter at quarterback to run ahead of? What do you think the Football 101 feedback or the Madden intelligence critique would be for a play like that? That's how far this game has fallen. Wide receiver route options. It's not just about the game holding your hand like you guys like to think. It's about a football game playing smarter. Guess what? If you've got a receiver that knows a defense sags down and breaks off, or looks for a nook in his own coverage, you don't have to run 16 different hot routes. Your player knows what to do, and the smarter the player, the more frequently that happens. So the players you buy in MUT, now they matter more. Historic teams. Look at that beautiful Colts logo. This is what would happen when you were tired of all that depth in franchise and you just wanted to do something different. Imagine getting tired of a game that was good and then loading it back up to play it again. There's not a lot of franchise gamers that do that. And finally, this is just how far along they were. There were so many boxes checked. There were so many things in place that they literally had to create a fan. It seems like and was the ultimate novelty to create a custom fan that you saw in the stands. But that is how complete this franchise mode was. So when you hear someone from our community talk about the game where it is and where it's been, and you project that as negativity, you've got to understand a little better. Because I don't understand where a lot of you guys come from. But I don't know one person in the community that sits there and degrades you for it. I don't understand, and I never will, investing a couple $100 or $1,000 into Madden Ultimate Team each year, not being able to really keep any of those cards and starting the process over. I don't understand, as you guys call it, grinding through remedial tasks to earn coins to buy good cards. That's not something that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in buying a game and then buying players for the game. But I leave that be. You guys do what makes you happy and what brings you excitement. But the fact that there's so many people that want to project that this whole community is just not able to be satisfied. This whole community is just negative. You know, the reality is, I just watched a guy that claims to be a competitive gamer talk about $1 million prize pool for Madden and projecting the reason that franchise isn't good is because who would want to play franchise mode when you can play the game competitively and win money? When the major tournament I saw was for $100,000, which I'm not scoffing at, but after taxes and paying all the money as a community you need to purchase to get players good enough to even be considered to enter those tournaments, the reality is you guys are spending millions and millions of dollars at the hopes that you might be the one that gets to play for that $100,000. That isn't really something that a lot of us are interested in. A lot of us just want a different experience from the game. And if you think that makes us lesser of a gamers, then that's fine. But like I said, I want you to look at this and understand our perspective of where this game was, where this game's went, and what we've been told all along the way. And if you think that there's a whole bunch of things that we can make and talk about that are positive, because 90, 80, 70% of our game is gone, then you need to let some of us know how to create that content. And make sure one day when you wake up in EA's Golden Goose, all those MUT bundles somehow disappear because, I don't know, maybe it's deemed as gambling. Just remember, you hold all that same energy that you've had for the past couple years. You hold on to that real tight. Because then maybe you'll understand what it's like to have a decent game mode get ruined by a company that only cares about selling you MUT cards. Because that's where we've been the past few years. And there really is no excuse for it. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. You know I will be back because this game mode isn't getting any better. Not for Madden 21, not for Madden 22. And if I have to talk about it every single day until somebody at EA gets it, or they realize we're serious about changing this game, or they see that user score drop, there ain't enough MUT gamers in the world to go save that user score, because there wasn't enough of you to go save that trailer. I will be back in the week with more commentary.